Outline agreement between Liverpool and Frankfurt for the transfer of Ekitike, Hugo boss. Big fee, by the way. 90, what is it? Was it 95 million euros? I think that's 82.3 million pounds. A little tad overpriced, I must say. But bar that, let's dive into the player that Liverpool are going to get and what he brings to the team. It's a fantastic signing. Not hating on that. Definitely got Premier League tax there, but they didn't need to sell. They already sold Marmoush. We already know that. Yada, yada, yada. There's been multiple teams, including that one over there, that were in for him during this window. Anyways, smash the like button. The like button's super important. It's a thumbs up if you didn't know. Subscribe if you're brand new. And we can talk about how Liverpool's cracked. Right. Let's get down into business. Ekitike. Now, I watch a lot of the Bundesliga of last year anyways. I found I couldn't actually find a lot of services that could, stream Serie A and stuff. So Bundesliga it is. But anywho, Ekitike is a fantastic footballer. Marmoush was his partner. Now, if we do the maths on what he brings, then you can pretty much see why Marmoush got all the goals he did. Now, you add Mo Salah to that equation, the other Egyptian. Now, this helps Mo Salah tenfold compared to most strikers in the world of football that's available today. You know, with the guy who's towering about 6'3", 6'4", very lanky build, he's got absolute serious link-up play. Hence why Marmoush was the top. Well, I think he had the most GA or something like that with Frankfurt in the last how many years? Blah 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 blah. It was all thanks to that man there, bar obviously the set pieces. But Hugo Ekitike, very strong, very aggressive, loves to press as well, loves to run the channels. I think he's gonna be nothing but a success. Of course, he's gonna have to find a new partnership with his new teammate who come from the Bundesliga as well, Florian Wirtz. And again, for the way Florian Wirtz plays, it can only benefit his goal tally as well. We'll see how he lands. It might take a little bit of an adjustment period, but if you've seen him even on the under-21s back in the day or even just through any sort of duties, you know that man can adapt that little bit more quicker than the others, just thanks to Liverpool's team alone, right? For me, again, it's the aerial presence he brings that I feel that Liverpool have slightly lacked in certain areas in the forward line. I know Diogo Jota, rest in peace, he was very good at that. And, with the likes of Van Dijk already, Konate, Liverpool already a really good set-piece team. So he's going to add that element, I find, to the team that's going to become very annoying. And that's why I'm going to pause the video, because I've just had an absolute elephant in the room, right? Anywho. Big up. Anyone hear that? I'm not going to pause the video. Anyways, 82.3 million. I don't know what the breakdown of this is. Last time I saw, it was 75. It was meant to be 70 plus 5, then it went up to 80. So it's been done really quickly. Liverpool going on tour, and it's in Asia. So bringing in any players now, I'm getting their medicals done through the weekend. I'm pretty sure we're going to have the Here We Go and all that stuff tomorrow, or the Bomber, as you like to describe it. In the league, I don't find Liverpool needing a striker that needs 20 to 25 goals. They've already got that through Salah, right? Same thing with Manchester City. The other time is that they got Haaland to go get them the 25, 30 goals. So the likes of, let's say, Doku, Marmoush, and whoever else is going to play on the right-hand side, like Cherki maybe, they don't need that many goals. You've already got that through an abundance of different players. What Ekitike needs to bring, really, is just setting up people, holding up the ball really well, bringing in the likes of Wirtz, Gakpo, could be Rodrigo as well, since Luis Diaz might be going on the other way. It could be someone else. I've heard, Anthony Gordon might be the chase, little whispers. And then, of course, the Mo Salahs. So it's all about that part. As long as his performances are really good and he can provide something like, let's just say, Kai Havertz, I think Liverpool are going to have a really good forward line next season. And if they do bring in the likes of Rodrigo as well, then Rodrigo's only going to benefit. I'm not calling Hugo Ekitike Benzema, but look at what Benzema brought to the game anytime Vinny was there, and Rodrigo as well in that deadly front three. So I can see something quite similar. He's got a lot of room to grow into. So people are going to have a high expectation considering his price tag. And fair enough, sure. But when you've already got a great core like Liverpool's, when it comes to a young player in the likes of Manchester City's team, Arsenal's team, and then obviously the likes of Chelsea, who've got already abundance of youngsters, it's easy to slot in a youngster that can grow and thrive and reach the highest potential. Who better in the world right now to reach their potential in a squad like Liverpool's? That's not me glazing it. It's just that they've got a super solid core with Gravenberch, McAllister, Van Dijk, Alisson. That always will allow players to thrive and grow into what they need to be. Now, is he going to hit the ground running is going to be the biggest question through rivals and probably Liverpool fans. Is he the upgrade? Yes, is the question. Because when you actually deep Liverpool's front line, last season, they won with Luis Diaz playing false nine. I think Gakpo played there just a couple times. Of course, Darwin Nunez got preferred on the wing at times as well. And then, yeah. So really and truly, is it an upgrade? It's an instant yes. No one can kind of play that differently. You know, Liverpool been needing a striker since Firmino. Can he bring the element of Firmino? Of course not. Different kind of players. Firmino's way more silky, way more, you could say fluid in the way he plays the game. Hugo Ekitike still got that. My only thing about him is, can his ball striking be a little bit better in terms of accuracy? Yeah, because he's got a good ball strike. If anyone wants to see one, go look in the Europa League against Tottenham. You'll see that goal in the bottom corner like no tomorrow. It's a great, deadly finish. But it's a selection of shots and how many times he likes to shoot. You're going to find a little bit frustrating. And that's just my opinion. You'll see that for yourselves. But under the coaching of Slot and the rest of them that are through the door, I think you've got Heitinger now, who is a defensive coach, known actually a lot for his attacking work, by the way. You're going to find that he's going to get much better bit by bit. And I feel like he's going to be one of those players that grow through the months of Liverpool. The biggest part for me is not just the Premier League, though. It's how well he's going to perform in Europe. And this is where I find the hold-up game and something that Slot's liked in the past in his final team with Santiago Jimenez, right? With him, you're going to find that in Europe, you're going to have a lot more time than you think just because of one soul man. It's just having that focal point up front. It's just gonna generate so much space. You know, when he gets on the ball, you're gonna find not one centre back, but probably another player, whether it's a central midfielder or another defender, doubling up on him. Hence why Marmoush had a lot of space in the Bundesliga. I can see the same things happening, and this is why I think Gakpo, and I know a lot of you will say Mo Salah, but I'm going to say Gakpo is going to have an almighty season just because of one man. When these two link up, this is where Gakpo comes to life because he is someone that does have great ball striking, let alone, finishing these days, getting better and better with age. Someone I used to not like loads. And another name I'm going to actually say that should benefit of him because it's the way he plays. Because before, you've had the likes of Darwin Nunez, and of course, rest in peace once more, Diogo Jota. When you look at the way they play, they like to run in behind. And Szoboszlai needs that's the name, yeah. Szoboszlai likes players that you can run like ball to feet. He's the one that you need running beyond the striker. Now, I'm not saying that just to be fancy or be a little bit quirky, but Szoboszlai, just behind the player like Ekitike, holds up the ball and you get the better Szoboszlai. So this is why this is actually a good pickup for the whole team. And I know there's been rumours about Isak being unhappy. You're probably going to have to wait on that one. And you know what? If Ekitike slaps that much, you're not going to go and spend 100 and whatever million on Isak as well, because that's going to be your man. He's your new investment. Whether it's going to be 5 or 6 year deal, probably 5+1. That's it. That's your investment. 82.5 million is going straight into him. Richard Hughes, because it has said Richard Hughes has been a big part of this one. You've got to give the man credit yet again. They got this one done so quickly, bided their time. And look, Liverpool's team's nearly complete. All they've got left to do this summer really is sort out the centre-back issue, sort out the left winger with Luis Diaz, if it's going to be Rodrigo or someone like Anthony Gordon or whoever they aspire to have in their side. You're done for the window. And you could literally say, is it a 10-10 window? Possibly, yeah. Possibly 9 out of 10. Up to you. Depends what your standards are. For me, if Hugo Ekitike can bag at least 12 goals and get a hefty amount of assists, like 10 assists, I think he's had an absolute blinder of a season. And that's where you're going to see what the greatest number 9s are going to look like on the planet. And you know what, everything else that's going to come with it. We'll see what else comes through the door. Definitely an all-rounder for me. Perfect pickup. Perfect pickup. Once again, good profiling by Liverpool. Good profiling by the CEO. Good profiling by Richard Hughes. So I think he's going to have a field day, and I think Liverpool's going to find a new fan favourite. When you find this man getting stuck in, because he does, the tenacity of his game, he's going to be a fan favourite, I promise. Hard worker. 100% hard worker. And one thing I like with this is that it's the World Cup year. I don't want him to do well, of course, for good reason, right? But as just a guy who loves watching football, well, just you wait. Just you wait. Anyways, smash the likes. Subscribe if you're brand new. We'll see how much more money you lot spend buying the league, eh?